There is this small minion. There's this perfect minion that you can throw into the mirror entity, because mirror entities used to be very tricky to deal with, but with the aspirant, you can not only get rid of it by giving your opponent a small minion, but they will get the downside from the death rattle by losing a mana crystal once it's killed.
That's right. Not to mention that Trump has full information on the mage now. He knows these are the threats I have to worry about. I know he has Ragnaros. I know he has Dr. Boom. I know that he has these secrets specifically. That gives Trump a lot of power. He has the coin, so he can save that coin, hypothetically, assuming his curve works out okay, and use that for his benefit, and that opening hand does help Trump.
What a great hand from
significantly.
Trump.
Jeez.
Oh! That Mana Worm draw is huge!
Absolutely. So now it's suddenly a nice hand from Jab as well.
That doesn't look flashy, but man, the difference between Tempo Mage with Mana Worm and Tempo Mage without is a completely different deck. It's night and day.
Yeah, it's Druid without Wild Growth. It's,
right.
You know, Warrior without War Axes. But you know, you're right, because a lot of the spells that you play early on just snowball. Sometimes Mana Worms can do upwards of half of your opponent's health.
Like Savit's mentioned, it's so important that Trump has the coin in this matchup. In a lot of matchups, you want to go first, but I mean, I've played hundreds of games of Tempo Mage this week. Well, maybe not that many, but it's definitely deck I've played the most in the past week. And I can tell you right now, the Mana Worm coin hands, they're so hard to beat.
Wow, that tempo.
2 mana, 4/3. It's not bad, right?
And it buffed the Mana Worm. Trump does pick up a Wrath here, but he probably wants to go for the second Wild Growth. This is interesting. I mean, you want to take out that 4 power right now.
Yeah, I like the Wrath play because if you Wild Growth now, it's not going to change the play you have next
Not
turn.
really, no, because he doesn't have a 5-drop, so he won't be able to use the 4 mana crystals next turn anyway, so it doesn't help.
Mad Scientist comes in the hand, so Jab does have ways to continue loading the board. One of the things that you don't want to do is just toss Flamewaker out to the board without having any follow-up plays. You usually do it if you have no other tempo, but in this case, he has an alternative.
Oh, there's a 5-drop.
Alright, well, I think we're just going to see the 2 mana cards come out here. Darnassus Aspirant just as kind of a River Crocolisk, still a fine card, I think.
I probably wouldn't play the Aspirant, because you know that there might be a mirror entity soon, and then you just... It's going to be awkward with the Druid of the Claw or the Lore. Or do you have to play it? I guess there was no other options, really.
Oh, Flamewaker with the Arcane Missiles, and Trump.
Such a big draw.
Yeah, feels like he's in disaster mode. 2 Mana Worms are on the board as well, gaining buffs.
Ooh, so he has to lose the Scientist. Yeah.
Don't you want to lose the Scientist? I would have intentionally killed off the Scientist, but I think the secret is a really big deal.
Now, here's another thing. What if it's not the mirror entity? What if it ends up being the counter spell?
Yeah, maybe Trump just wants to take that risk, just assume it's counterspell, play Druid of the Claw, and hope for the best. He recognizes that he's behind, and the further you are behind in Hearthstone, the riskier you have to play.
That is true. He could also risk the counterspell here and just go for the Force of Nature, but it would only clear 1 minion, so I kind of like the Druid of the Claw more. Just hope for the best. It's a 50-50. It's completely a 50-50, because that secret right there, it is random, and there's 1 of each in the deck from Jab.
Yeah, I like the ability just to try and be more aggressive as possible. He's causing this for no mirror entity.
Whoa! And it is a counter spell, so that's good news for Trump. He's still in it.
Keeps him in the game, but that Shredder draw, very strong.
Very powerful indeed. Pilot Shredder loading up the board, making it really hard for Druid to get a full clear.
Jab really wanted to see something like a Flame Cannon or a Fireball there.
Absolutely. He doesn't get it. That's why, well, it doesn't do anything just yet, because he knows that there is that counter spell.
That's right. I think we're going to see him take out either Flamewaker or the 3/3 Mana Worm. It's really tough to decide which minion's better here. Probably the Flamewaker to kill.
Yeah, normally I think you would take out the Flamewaker, but he just saw that Jab was not playing any spells, so I would have blamed him for killing him on him.
Trump is behind, but he's still not going to heal. He needs these cards to really come back in this game, and he knows that.
Oh, yeah.
And Jab... Oh, no! He whiffs on a draw. I mean, he does have certain things to play the following turns. Oh, wow. Vitality Totem is one of the worst he can get, too, because it doesn't actually attack or do anything on the board or even heal.
Yeah, that is worthless for Jab right now. He's the aggressor here, and he's already at full health, so that Vitality Totem doing absolutely nothing.
That's what Trump needed to get back into it, though. If that dropped a reasonable minion, it would have been close to impossible to come back from this kind of board.
Absolutely.
And I mean, hey, if you're going to brick on a card as Jab, Ragnaros is not bad, right? It's a decent curve from here on out.
I mean, it could be game-ending damage, too. Something that we don't consider is that Trump's at 12 health, so it could be critical levels.
Now looking like a fairly straightforward double Shredders, because he can't deal with those.
Absolutely. This is a comeback train attempt from Trump, but Jab is still very close. I mean, even if he picks up fireballs in the next couple turns, it is something that he can push for, and that is damage.
Jump through, boom. And with the Frostbolt, if he gets the Ragnar's hit on Trump's face, it's just the Frostbolt thing could be enough soon.
If Trump could draw Savage Roar and just live one more turn,
that is pretty bananas.
It's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Jab forced to clear here, and he knows that he would just well, with the, yeah, I think that would have been lethal.
Oh my god!
My god, from the top.
The big game hunter to snipe Dr. Boom, and the Boombots, if they have low impacts by hitting Shredders for almost no damage. I mean, even revenge killing the big game hunter too.
So Trump's got options now. He still knows his counterspell. Does he just drop the Harrison and the BGH, or does he hero power and weave in a Darnassus Aspirant instead to take out a Boombot?
The thing is, I think he wants to keep Darnassus Aspirant for the mirror entity. Just shut down that mirror entity make it ineffective.
Probably, yeah.
I think Trump recognizes this game is over one way or another in the next few turns, and I don't know if mirror entity is going to come out in that time.
That is a good point.
That's also true, yeah.
There's only one in the deck. There's no scientists.
But I kind of like adding the Harrison on the board with the big game hunter. He could try to clear those Boombots, but I mean, you don't want to miss the Dayton phase. He could potentially set up lethal.
You need that damage.
He is going for the Aspirant. Alright. Let's see how it works out.
Oh, he's not going for the damage.
Oh my goodness.
That was close.
That was potentially disastrous.
Whoa.
Ancient Watcher absorbing a damage.
Yeah, not useless.
He might just use the swipe here. Yeah, alright. That was an opportunity to proc that counterspell. So Trump's taking the very defensive line of play. Let's clear the board as much as possible. Hope the Jab runs out of cards. He does have very few in hand. But Rag,
if it hits the face.
This is huge.
It's not what Trump wanted to see.
Where does it go?
5 destinations.
Oh
no, the Shredder.
Shrinkmeister.
Alright, that Force of Nature, not the worst. It's going to help Trump clear that Ragnaros after getting rid of the counterspell with his swipe.
Yep, seems like kind of an obvious play, I suppose.
Yeah.
There's the Force of Nature right there. In combination with the Savage Roar, that is a very powerful combo. It is considered the win condition of the Druid quite often.
Yeah, 2 cards in combination can deal 14 damage from an empty board. Pretty strong.
Absolutely. Not to mention that you can split the damage with Force of Nature as well. So even though it is a little clunky, 6 damage that spreads out exactly how you want it in chunks of 2. That can be very useful, specifically in the scenario to snipe one big minion if he has a board.
Yeah, very powerful card. At some point we used to see only one Force of Nature from many players, but it is standard to play 2 right now, just because of how well it goes with the Emperor Tourism.
Uh-oh! Fireworks! Round number 3.
Where do those
Arcane missiles.
Alright, well, let's see where they go.
Oh!
It's a little bit unfortunate for Jab.
Oh, that's really unlucky for Jab.
That was very unlucky, yeah.
Now this ends up dying, and he's going to forever be outside of the range of the Fireball. Because he's going to continue to hero power every turn, and Fireball, at best off the top for Jab, will do 7 damage, and Trump will be at 8.
Yeah, so he needs some kind of running, because he could potentially draw maybe a...
Man. And if Trump slams Wrath off this and just continues to push the board... I mean, Swipe is very appealing, but you still die to a Fireball.
You have to hero power. Trump's in a position where he recognizes that he can make Jab kind of draw dead in a sense, where there's no single card he could peel off the top that would win him the game.
Yeah, he definitely has to hero power. Otherwise, Jab might get like three or so turns that he can top deck the Fireball.
Right.
And in all of those turns, Jab will be dealing with 1 damage to Trump, while Trump is going to be healing for 1. So
you know what Trump is thinking, though? Trump is thinking, what if I can set up a 2-turn kill on my opponent, I draw Savage Roar so I can just end the game? But I do think going for a guaranteed no die in this scenario, it might even be slightly better.
Oh, he's going to take the
ambitious. He's playing with fire.
Wow.
Will he be punished?
It is a game of inches this point.
Goes for base.
It doesn't change what he dies to.
A spell slinger.
What is he going to get from it?
A tracking.
Oh my God!
Trump might get punished right here, and Jab fist pumps. He's got it.
Fireball.
Trump goes down. Jab.